Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a pick a card reading looking at what to expect next in your current situation. This reading is going to consist of 3 different parts for each pile. Part number 1, we'll take a look and see what the situation is that your guides are wanting to point out and give you some information on. The second part will be looking at what to expect next with that situation. And then the third part is going to consist of a little bit of advice from your guides about the situation and how to move forward as these things come into being. So here are the 3 piles that you'll have to choose from. We'll talk a little bit about each one of these because we're doing something a little different today. So with each of these piles, we have these herbal blends from Lunar Bloom. Definitely not sponsored, would be super cool if I was, but I love Lunar Bloom. I love these herbs. They're all natural. These blends each kind of have their own flavor to them, I guess you could say, different elements. We have water here, we have air here, and then with Nocturne, this one is actually technically for helping you sleep, helping with dreams. I would say this is kind of a crown chakra, third eye chakra type of energy here. So we'll be burning these herbs during your reading for you. And you can use these to help pick. I'm going to actually, because I don't have them memorized, it's an herbal blend with lots of different herbs on them. I'm going to actually move these here in a second, and we'll look and see exactly what herbs are in each blend for you. So let's start. We've got pile number 1 here with the Modern Witch Tarot and then the Water Lunar Bloom blend. I'll pull this up here so you can kind of see what this looks like. Really colorful, it's so pretty. And then in this blend, we have Damiana, Mugwort, Pink Lotus, and Cornflower, and it's meant for relaxation, regeneration, and cleansing. So that's that one for pile number 1. For pile number 2 here is the Nocturne blend, and you can kind of see this one's also really colorful and pretty. And inside of that blend, we have Damiana, Lavender, Black Knight Hollyhock, Catnip, and Hyssop. On this one it says, feel enchanted, dissolve into the night sky, and enter into a state of tranquility. This one, I haven't used these yet personally, but this one I really like for sleep. So if that's something that you guys would be interested in, you can go to their website. I'll link that down below for you guys too as well, like I always do with the decks. That way you can go check them out. And then here for pile number 3 is the Air blend. You can kind of see this one just looks so clean and pretty. I really like this one here. And inside of that one, we have peppermint, mugwort, lavender, and raspberry leaves. And this one says it awakens your senses with freshness and evokes enthusiasm, inspiration, and creativity. So definitely very air energy there. But anyways, oh, and I didn't even mention the tarot cards. With pile number 2, we have the Phantom Wise deck, and pile number 3, we have the totally unofficial Adventure Time tarot deck. So we'll be using these decks here in your reading. We'll also pull an oracle card. We'll also do some clarifying cards if we need to. But anyways, guys, here are your 3 piles here. The timestamps will be in the description down below and in the top comment. Also, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel so much. But yeah, I will see you guys in your readings. Bye. Hello, pile number 1. You have chosen the Water blend, Water Lunar Bloom blend, and the Modern Witch Tarot deck here for your reading. And we are going to be taking a look to see what to expect next with your situation. Like I said in the very intro of the video, we'll be doing 3 different sections here with this reading. So we're going to be looking at what that situation is that your guides are wanting to highlight. Then we'll be looking at what to expect next in that situation. And then thirdly, we'll look to see if they have any specific advice for you regarding that situation and the best way for you to move forward with that. So let's go ahead and get your blend here going. I am gonna we'll leave that right off the camera there for you because we have this here. We'll get that lit. I really love these blends. They smell so good too. So we'll see here. I've never actually burned them like this, so a little bit of a experiment here to a certain extent, but we'll light this for you and kind of see how it goes here. At least get a little bit of incense smoke from that to a certain extent. There we go. Got that smoking. It smells really good. Smells super good, actually. I'll make sure and link down below the website for this, the Lunar Blooms. It's just a small business. I really like their stuff. The Nocturne blend, the one for pile number 2, I've used that one. I've made it in a tea. I've actually rolled that a little bit and smoked it before bed. It's really amazing. I'll definitely be doing that with the water and the air blend too, probably sometime soon, just to kind of try those out, probably make a tea out of them. But anyways, let's get started with your reading here. We have the Modern Witch Tarot deck, so let's pull our first little set of cards here to take a look to see what situation it is that your guys are really wanting to highlight and to let you know what to expect next end. So, okay. And then that's way too many here. One stick out, so we'll do those. So it looks right off the bat, this situation is going to be kind of about your personal life, possibly about family, maybe creating a happy family for you, possibly the head of a household here with the Emperor, or maybe taking charge a little bit within your family structure or within your relationships. So I see that kind of being the situation that we're wanting to talk about here. They want to highlight something about your family situation, friendships. This 10 of Cups really talks about your circle. It doesn't have to necessarily be like a nuclear family with 2 parents and just children. This can be whatever you consider family, whether it's the family you were born into or a family that you created yourself. But I see here with the Emperor card too, we're going to be talking about possibly the head of the household here, possibly your role as the head of the household, possibly as a leader within the family structure, within the family role. So that's kind of the general situation we're going to be talking about here. That's the situation that they'd like to let you know what to expect next. Also, I'm kind of hearing that this could be your journey in creating this happy family, your journey in creating this, your tribe, so to speak, and creating this within your life here. So now let's take a look and see what to expect next in this situation here for you. And I am seeing those 2. I'm feeling this one as well. So let's see here. We have the Hierophant. Let's see, trying to find the best way to utilize our space. We have the Hierophant, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the 3 of Cups. Okay. What to expect next, pile number 1. I am seeing here something to expect next, particularly with the Queen of Pentacles here, is having your needs met. And I'm kind of seeing that kind of jives with the whole Emperor 10 of Cups thing. This almost seems like it's the head of the household here. I see that you're going to be provided for and taken care of. With the Hierophant too, this is a lot of times this talks about traditional structures, traditional roles, And I'm seeing here that that's really what this could be, and really a celebration of that, a celebration of kind of traditional values. And now traditional values doesn't have to necessarily be, I know sometimes I'm here in the US, and sometimes traditional values can kind of represent super conservative values, and that's not necessarily what I'm seeing here or saying here. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Make this kind of fit for you, because this is a general reading. But what I do see here is kind of a traditional role that the head of the household, the head of this happy family, is going to be taking on a bit of a traditional role here. And this is what to expect next. And I see here with the Queen of Pentacles, something that we see with her is she's right here surrounded by nature. She's sitting very comfortably. She's holding her pentacle, has like a firm grasp on that. It's not slipping through her hands, anything like that. You see the roses around here, which can symbolize love, romance. So perhaps this is a significant other for you who kind of takes on a more head of the household male role, possibly for you. But I do see that this person is going to be providing for the family here, is kind of what the situation is in a typical traditional sense of the word. And there's going to be really celebration here. And I'm almost seeing with this Queen of Pentacles, something that I'm kind of seeing here is it's almost like you're going to be free to spend time doing other things, spending time with friends, celebrating, spending time with your group here, because that's what this really, the Three of Cups really feels like, is coming together and celebrating kind of personal desires, kind of achieving that together possibly. So it's possible here that this could even be you, this figure kind of taking over, someone taking over this role here, kind of taking over being the head of the household, being in charge, and you really being able to have the luxury to spend time with friends, siblings. I'm kind of feeling too, maybe with this Three of Cups. The third house in astrology does represent siblings, sibling relationships. So it's possible that that's just kind of something that popped into my mind, that kind of might be what this is. Some of us, our siblings, are some of our closest and best friends. So it's possible that could be what this is talking about for you. But I do see a more traditional role kind of being formed here for you. We also have the rabbit here, which is, it's kind of, my eyes being drawn to this kind of makes me think of fertility. That's what the rabbit symbolizes here. And so it's possible that you could be moving into a more traditional role. This could technically, for some of you, not everyone, like I said, take it if it resonates. This is a very specific message, but this could be kind of what to expect next. Might be a pregnancy. I would say probably a planned pregnancy in this situation here. And celebration of that within your inner circle, possibly. That could be, if that's something that you've been kind of thinking about, working towards, that could definitely be what this is for you. Doesn't necessarily have to be that. This fertility, it can pop up in any area of our lives. It could be, abundance and blessings and multiplication of, friends, of our desires being met. But I do see here that within this more traditional role, there's going to be time for you to celebrate with others, time for you to spend time with others and really fill each other's cups, is kind of what I'm seeing here. So this is super exciting, pile number one, because not only with the 10 of Cups is it just talking about family, but this is talking about a very happy family, a very happy situation here. And someone really taking this role of provider and kind of a traditional role, so that you can also move into kind of the other side of that traditional role, kind of someone that's what it is, kind of a divine masculine, someone embodying this divine masculine, so you can kind of embody your divine feminine and work towards and work towards within a divine feminine type of sense where you kind of just allow things to come in. Sure, does require, inspired action, but the divine feminine is generally about receiving here. So you can really place yourself in a position of receiving what the divine masculine has to offer or has to give, and you being able to celebrate this and having people around you who are happy for you, who want to celebrate this new chapter in your life with you. They're very excited about this for you, pile number 1. So this is a super, super exciting message for you here. Really, really moving into a new chapter of luxury and wealth and rest and ease. I see that you're going to be feeling at ease, and possibly for the first time in a while. You may have felt kind of in struggle mode, kind of in survival mode. And I see that you'll be moving out of that if that's kind of where you've been. And so this is what to expect next here, is to move out of that energy and kind of into this divine feminine and confidently embodying that. And then that being celebrated, not just by you, but by your inner circle as well, pile number 1. Let's take a look here. We'll light this one more time, kind of turn this over, keep the incense kind of going here. These herbs they're not as dry. They're not super dry. I mean, they're dry, don't get me wrong, but they're not as dry. So they don't just burn up super fast. I'm gonna try not to burn my fingers in the process. I really want to do this type of style reading again with these herbs. I really like these. They smell so good. I love the different energies that they kind of embody. Give me a minute. Let me turn my fan off, because that can definitely be contributing to this situation. Hold on. Okay, so fan is turned off. We will kind of try this a little bit again. All right. Boop. There we go. Okay, so that's what I see for a situation and what to expect next here. Let's look at a little bit of advice for you as well. See if they have any sort of advice for you in this situation, kind of what to do with this energy, how to best take advantage of this energy possibly. So let's take a look and see here. Advice for pile number 1 with what to expect next. And I feel like that one too. So let's take a look here. All right. We have, let's see. We have the Knight of Pentacles here and the Page of Swords. Ugh, this is really cool, pile number 1, because I feel like this you being able to really be in this feminine energy, really being able to be maybe in this more traditional role here is going to lead to, you're going to be able to do more with your time. I see that you're going to have some free time here to do a little bit more, let's see, what's kind of the word? You're going to be able to kind of take advantage of this and make this energy work for you. You're not going to be, that's kind of the thing about divine feminine energy, really. That's probably the best way to put it is you don't work for it, it works for you. That's kind of the way divine feminine kind of is. So with the Knight of Pentacles talks about kind of slow and steady wins the race type of situation, generally with the material realm here. So this advice for you is going to be to kind of, I don't know if take it slow is the case, but maybe to kind of slow down a little bit, kind of put yourself, like I said, in this energy of receiving. So I think the advice here for you is to not overdo it with this free time is, I think it is to rest and slow down with your goals, because I do feel like you do have some goals that you're wanting to reach. I mean, you may be in a bit more of a divine feminine situation, maybe a bit more of a receiving energy here, but I do feel like you're still wanting to work towards something here. I think this is probably the pile that resonates most with me personally as well. This is probably a pile I would have chosen if I was looking at the three and picking. So I feel like we're kind of on the similar wavelength here, pile number one. Maybe similar spots in our lives, but anyways, so I feel with the Knight of Pentacles, you do still have something that you're wanting to work towards, and it's going to be a kind of, like I said, a slow and steady wins the race type of situation. And I feel like your guides are wanting you to know this, that little step, that you can take little steps each day. It doesn't have to be, whatever it is you're working towards, it doesn't have to be this grandeur. You don't have to make huge moves here. You can really make small, measurable moves, make small, measurable choices each day that are going to accumulate and work out for you personally, pile number one. With the Page of Swords, I see that you'll start to have, the advice here is that you're going to start having more time on your hands to think. I feel like, because whenever we're in this almost this divine masculine provider energy, or in survival mode, because I feel like that might be something that you're kind of coming out of here. When we're in that energy, sometimes we just don't have time to stop and think, to stop and process. And I see with Page of Swords, you're going to be getting some new ideas here. And the advice is to allow yourself to really indulge in those, to kind of follow those through to a certain extent mentally, kind of allow your mind to go down the rabbit hole a little bit with this. Not spiral. We're not talking about negatively spiraling. We're just talking about allowing your mind to wander, allowing your imagination to come through here. I would almost say that the best way to place these cards as far as advice goes really would be to place the Page of Swords first, because I do see, it does feel like you're going to be gaining some great insight and some good ideas here with this extra time, this additional time that you have here. And that's going to allow you to possibly start something. Perhaps you're in a situation where you've got someone else who is going to be providing for you and taking on that more traditional role, so you can kind of lay back, relax a little bit, spend more time with maybe the people in your life that matter most to you, and then as you have this time to relax and unwind, you're going to have some new ideas come forth. You're going to have some new, you're going to maybe even be gaining some mental clarity about a situation, and could possibly even maybe start a side gig, start some sort of side hustle. Perhaps that's kind of what this is it's allowing you to do that here. That's kind of the energy that I'm seeing for you here, pile number one. I'm also seeing here too, Page of Swords could also, like I said, you're just going to be able to rest and kind of rejuvenate your mind a little bit here. And it's going to give you a little bit more patience perhaps as well. And I think that's kind of that kind of translates into advice here too, is to allow these energies to happen. Allow yourself to slow down, to take it step by step, day by day, to not overexert yourself, to not feel like you need to do something with this extra time that you have here. If you are the person who may possibly be looking at a pregnancy here coming up, possibly, like I said, someone taking on a more traditional provider role for you, and then you being able to maybe focus on your fertility, on child rearing, on whatever that may be, and the celebration of that, I see that you're going to also have the time and space to really get your mind right and get your situation right as you prepare for this upcoming new journey that you'll be starting here. The Knight of Pentacles really talks, like I said, it's slow and steady. measurable steps, but it's slow and it's taking your time. And I really see that here with the Knight of Pentacles here, and you're really being advised to do that. Just take your time, slow and steady, while you start out on this journey. I think sometimes it can be a bit jarring, like if we go from that energy of survival mode, divine masculine energy, where we're going and going and going, which isn't even necessarily divine. Sometimes that's kind of a warped masculine energy where, you know, it's just hustle, hustle, hustle with no rest. That can be really toxic. And when we come out of that energy, sometimes it can be hard to totally move away from that, and we feel like, oh well, I need to find something to do, oh well, I need to be doing something. And I see that the advice here is to just allow yourself to sit in this slower energy and just go with it. I think you're going to find yourself feeling much more rejuvenated and ready to take on new ideas and have new ideas come through when you allow yourself to really just relax, and allow others to celebrate you as well within this journey. Let us pull a final oracle message for you guys here. Pile number 1. I love this little deck with all these animals and stuff. So here we go. Here's your final message. We have the busy beaver: motivation, cooperation, and efficiency. And it says, builder of sturdy and stable structures, teach me your tenacious ways. Yeah, so it's interesting this would come up when we were just talking about this masculine energy and moving out of that. I do feel like this is almost what this is talking about, is to not just allow yourself to be busy, but to kind of, it says cooperation, and I am kind of feeling to like cooperate with this divine feminine energy to be efficient, because that's kind of what Knight of Pentacles is about. It's talking about small, efficient moves forward, but it's not rushed. It's you're maintaining your motivation, you're being efficient, but you're not feeling rushed. And that's really what divine energy or divine feminine energy is kind of about. It isn't about being stagnant. It isn't just about sitting. It's about making, like I said, making measurable steps, but doing it in an efficient way that doesn't feel rushed or hurried. And yeah, it can definitely talk about having a little bit of tenacity too, but sometimes tenacity, sometimes motivation, efficiency, all of that, sometimes we're more efficient if we just calm down and slow down, you know. Sometimes in the end, to a certain extent, the phrase rings true that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. You know, I think rushing and hurrying to get to something, or rushing and hurrying to accomplish something, it's not necessarily faster, and usually it's way less efficient. It's just way more stressful, and you can really lose your motivation when you're just pushing and pushing and pushing and you feel like nothing's happening. So I feel like what to expect next for you overall, kind of the overall message here, is that you're going to be put in a position where you can kind of be in a more divine feminine receiving position here, where you can kind of focus a bit more on slowing down, on allowing new ideas to come in, a little bit of mental clarity, mental energy too. You're not wasting a lot of your mental energy on the tedious, mundane necessities that we're kind of forced to deal with, forced to reckon with whenever we are in that masculine energy of going, 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 and achieving, or striving to constantly trying to make moves, constantly trying to hustle. You're going to have a lot more mental energy. And I do see you making small but efficient steps here, and you're able to retain your motivation much easier if you are able to just be in this energy, this slower energy of receiving, while you allow someone else to step into the energy of giving here. So pile number 1, that is what I'm seeing for you here. Thank you so much for tuning in to this reading. I want to thank your guides for coming through to give you this message. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel so much. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Phantom Wise Tarot deck along with the Nocturne Lunar Bloom Herbal Blend here. So what we're going to do in this reading, like I kind of explained in the intro, is we're going to be looking to see what you should be expecting next in your situation. We'll be splitting this into 3 separate parts to a certain extent. Part number 1, we're going to pull some cards and take a look to see what the situation is that your guides are wanting to highlight for you. Part number 2, we'll be looking to see what it is that they'd like you, what it is that you should be expecting next regarding that situation. And then the section number 3, we'll be looking at any advice they have for you, any advice, that they have for you moving forward with this situation as things come to be. So let's take your little herbal blend. We'll put that right there. I am gonna light it. We'll get a little bit of incense from it. Pile number 1 and I kind of experimented with it a little bit. It doesn't really like to stay lit, honestly. We turned off the fan and that seemed to help a little bit, but it's all about the energy. It's sitting right here with you, so you'll have that still for your reading. We do get a little bit of incense smoke off of it, so we'll be kind of doing that. The blend isn't super dry, so it doesn't just go up in flames or anything like that, but yours is lighting a bit better than pile number 1's did. So here we go with that. And just kind of a refresher, the herbs in this one are Damiana, catnip, lavender, black knight hollyhock, and hyssop. So these are all kind of herbs that kind of have to do with the third eye, dreaming. We'll just kind of have to look at the energies of your reading to kind of see how this plays in. But let's go ahead and get started. This blend smells really good. All right, my friends, let's take a look and see. First of all, we're going to see what you should be expecting next. And let's take a look first and see what the situation is that your guides are wanting to kind of highlight here for you. So, right, I'll take those 2, and I am feeling that one. So here we go. We have the Fool. We have the 2 of Cups, and we have the 9 of Wands. All right. So something that I'm seeing for you, pile number 2, about what this situation is, I see here that it's a new journey here for you. And so this particular message, or this specific meaning that I'm seeing here for what this situation is it's pretty specific. So if it doesn't resonate for you, that's fine. We're gonna talk about some other things here, because I am feeling a couple of different meanings here for you with what this current situation is. But the first one that comes to mind, the first one I'm feeling, is that this is possibly a new relationship. So if you are in a relatively new relationship or looking at beginning a new relationship with somebody here, I see that that's what this current situation is. This is a situation that they're wanting to talk to you about. With the 9 of Wands, I feel like you have been burned in the past in former relationships. And this is an energy that you're kind of still reeling from, possibly. You've really stood strong. You've really, this card always kind of, the phrase that I always kind of think of is staying strong in the face of adversity. Like this could possibly be really allowing yourself to stay strong and open up, even if the relationship, or even if maybe the relationship has had a bit of a rocky start, or maybe you've had a rocky start with your past relationships or have had those types of experiences here. Now, this situation can also be if the relationship thing is not resonating for you, because like I said, this is a general reading, so you're going to have to take what resonates and leave the rest. But this could also be kind of a new journey to find balance in your life. Pile number 2. This could be kind of talking about what's the word that I'm looking for? Kind of this journey away from adversity. You've been burned before, possibly, and this, like I said, doesn't have to be relationship oriented. This could just be in any situation in your life. You've kind of been burned. You're kind of trying to move on here, but you're really wanting to start a new journey and find balance and harmony here. It's kind of what I'm seeing with this 2 of Cups card. So that's kind of the situation. That's kind of the situation at hand here that they're wanting to chat with you about. I have to admit, I am really feeling like it's relationship oriented. But we'll see. We'll get some cards to kind of see what to expect next, and that'll kind of flesh things out for us a little bit and let us know a bit more about what this is talking about here. But yeah, this could also, like I said, just be kind of trying to find balance and harmony in life, kind of trying to starting a new journey where you're maybe leaving behind old ways of thinking that kind of kept you stuck or kind of felt negative. But this could possibly be trying to focus a bit more on the positives and, kind of stay strong throughout challenging situations here, trying to find balance, maybe kind of trying to find the silver lining even for you, pile number 2. But let's go ahead and pull some cards and see a little bit more here about what is happening next, or what to expect next in this situation. I am feeling that one, that, then this one as well. So, the 5 of Cups, the Moon. Kind of with my camera position, it's hard to tell in real life if it looks straight on the camera. It doesn't. It's kind of a weird situation. So, okay. The 10 of Swords and the Magician. Okay, what to expect next? Pile number 2. Okay, so I'm just going to be upfront and honest with what I'm seeing here. It seems like you've been a bit disappointed, I think, with how this has turned out, whatever this situation is, whether this is a new relationship, whether this is a situation where you're really trying to achieve a sort of balance and harmony somewhere within your life. Let me pull another card, just a clarifier here for this current situation, because it's just going to give us a little bit more context, and you'll be able to just get kind of a better I don't know, reading here, better advice. So we have the 3 of Cups. Okay, this could possibly be even friendship here for you. This definitely has to do with other people is kind of what I'm feeling. It may not necessarily be a romantic relationship. The Two of Cups kind of generally symbolizes that. It's like the minor arcana version of the Lovers here. But once again, that doesn't even necessarily have to symbolize romantic relationships. But this is definitely something to do with other people. This could be friendships here. This could be friendships is something that I'm really saying. The Two of Cups could even be talking about a best friend type of situation here. Pile number 2, but that's kind of what I'm seeing here for you with this. Okay, so we're most likely talking about a friendship here, possibly a friend group here. I feel like you've gotten a new friend group, you've been exposed to a new friend group, you've been trying to fit in with a new friend group. Perhaps this is a new work friend group. You know, sometimes we come into work situations and there's already kind of cliques that have been made and we're trying to fit in. We're trying to find where we fit within that. And I see that you've come up against a bit of adversity with that here, pile number 2. I see that you've really tried to, you know, like water off a duck's back, let it roll off, let it kind of let it go. You know, you're trying to not take things personally here with this journey, with these friends or relationship. I'm going to continue to say relationship, I think, because a relationship doesn't have to necessarily be a romantic relationship. Friendships are relationships too. It's how you relate to other people and the level of relation that you have to other people here. Pile number 2. So we're gonna stick with the term relationship, but just know that I'm not just talking about romantic relationships, okay? So anyways, you've been really possibly disappointed here. That's what I'm seeing with the 5 of Cups. You really didn't think that this was going to be that hard is kind of what I'm seeing here for you. And I see that what to expect next. First of all, honestly, you might expect the feelings of disappointment to possibly continue. No one really wants to hear that, but that is kind of what I'm seeing here, is to kind of gosh, I hate to say it, but possibly continue to be disappointed by these people, by this person. I think it almost seems what I'm kind of getting at here is we'll get there, but you're really being called to use your intuition here. Because I feel like you're going to experience continual disappointment if you stay in this situation. And it's going to exhaust you. It's going to wear you out. It's going to make you feel really defeated here. And I feel like it's important. I don't know why taught came out. This could be a lesson, you know, for you, possibly kind of a Freudian slip there, but this could be a lesson for you. Maybe this is kind of a situation in which you're going to be able to kind of utilize your intuition, flex your intuition a little bit, and determine whether the situation is for you or not. Life kind of seems to work like that. We seem to strengthen a skill. We seem to strengthen a skill, you know, like maybe you've been working on your intuition. Maybe that's something that you've been trying to strengthen a little bit, is really listening to your inner self, listening to that inner voice, listening to your gut. And it seems like every time after we feel like we're like, okay, I don't know, I feel good about that. I feel like I'm doing much better at that. I feel like I've really improved my ability to listen to my intuition, and then not just hear it and notice it, but to also take action with it in mind, to actually trust it. And it's like, sometimes it feels like in life, once we finally get a skill down, or we feel like we do, we're almost presented with an opportunity to hone that skill and to really use it and to demonstrate what we've learned. And then we kind of close the chapter on that. We kind of close that chapter and then kind of go forward knowing, okay, not only did I begin to strengthen my intuition, but I really proved, not just to the universe, but to myself, that I can be trusted. I can trust myself to continue to use those new skills that I've learned, those new lessons I've learned going forward. And I kind of feel like that's what this situation is for you, pile number 2. I feel like you've been experiencing disappointment with these people, with this person, and you've really tried to make it work. That's what I'm seeing here with the Nine of Wands. You've really tried to make it work. You've really put in your all. I don't feel like I don't feel like this is your fault. Pile number 2, I don't feel like the adversity and disappointment you're facing here has to do with you. I feel like it has to do with the other people. I feel like the other people, whoever else is in this situation, the other person has just simply let you down, or it just did not turn out how you thought it would. And I feel like that is something that you're kind of experiencing here. And I do see that that's kind of what to expect, is to expect to experience disappointment from these people, because I'm really feeling like they are just not in alignment with you. Pile number 2, I almost feel like possibly they were in alignment with an older version of yourself. But I feel like you've made great strides towards bettering yourself, healing yourself here, and these people are just not in alignment with this new version of you that you've kind of created. And I'm seeing here that what to expect next is expect to be in a position where it's time to use your intuition and decide whether or not this situation is for you, whether or not these people are for you and in alignment with you and with your best interest. Pile number 2, I see with the Ten of Swords, that's kind of what this is talking about. It's just, you're just kind of done. I see that you're just gonna, there's this disappointment here. I think what to expect is your intuition to kind of tell you, hey, listen, that's it, you're done. Ten of Swords kind of reminds me of that phrase, stick a fork in me, I'm done. That's kind of what it seems like, that's kind of the vibe that you get from this card, is just like, you know what, I'm done. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm not doing this anymore. And I think that that's kind of what, I think when you listen to your intuition regarding this situation, I think that's going to be the conclusion that you come to here with this pile number 2. But let me tell you, and something that your guides want you to know, is that all is not lost, okay? You are going to use this experience. Going forward, this experience is going to be useful for you, because you're going to really see what type of people you align with and what type of people you don't align with. You're really going to see how not everybody is for you and you are not for everyone, and that is okay. Here, with the Magician, you're going to realize that this situation is actually, it's going to be a useful tool for you moving forward, and possibly as you choose future friendships, future partners, future relationships, as you move forward and decide who you're going to associate with, who is meant for you, who isn't meant for you. This is going to help you. You're going to learn that here with this pile number 2. This is definitely a learning experience for you here, and you're going to take what you've learned and go forward and be able to find the person who is a better match for you energetically, vibrationally, relationally, however you want to call it. I really do see that here. You're gonna move past this, and you're going to be off to bigger and better things and be able to create the new beginnings that you want to have. You'll realize that there are people out there who do match your energy and match your effort too. That's something that I feel kind of is coming forward with this Nine of Wands here, is that you've put in a lot of effort and have really tried to remain steadfast in the amount of effort that you've put in to this relationship, these friendships, relationships, whatever you want to call them. You've really been steadfast in that, and you've really continued to put in the work, and it's just not being reciprocated. And I think that's what this disappointment is. And I think, like I said, I think you're going to come to the conclusion, listen to your intuition, you know what's best for you. deep down, but I feel like you're going to come to the conclusion that this is just not a match for you, and it really is time to let it go and move forward. You know, also with this Magician card coming up right after, and just with the Ten of Swords in general, you can see that it's kind of getting lighter actually in the background, and a lot of the Ten of Swords imagery, you kind of see that the dawn is coming. So generally the phrase it's darkest before the dawn, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here for you. Is it's going to feel that way. It's going to feel like you don't really know what to do. You don't really know how to move forward. You've put in a lot of effort. They continue to disappoint you though. You're continuing to be disappointed here, and I don't see that you're being called to just move past the disappointment, that you have unrealistic expectations, or that you're wallowing in self-pity or something like that. I'm not seeing that at all. I'm saying that your intuition is going to come through, and you're going to realize, hey, you know, maybe these people just aren't for me, and I'm just not for them. These people, this person. And you're going to say, you know what? I'm done. I'm over it. And this is going to give you new insights for when you move forward, or for moving forward, when you begin to look at cultivating new friendships, new relationships with people, or with a specific person here for you. Pile number 2. That's really what I'm seeing here. The Magician really talks about being able to create the life that you want, to create whatever it is that you like. And it reminds you here, if you notice, they have all the different elements here. We have the wand, we have the sword, we have the pentacle, we have the cups, all the different elements here. And I feel like you are being told that, listen, you're coming out of this experience. Not only we always have everything that we need in order to create a new life, because these things are simply just different types of energy here: air energy, water energy, fire energy, earth energy. We can harness all of those energies here, but I feel like this is going to be a reminder to you. You're going to look back on this situation and go, wow, you know what? Those people really weren't for me. I really wasn't for them. And you know, I'm going to keep that in mind moving forward as I manifest the type of relationships that I want in my life with other people. I think that this, like I said, this is going to be a great learning experience for you. It's going to be hard. It is darkest before the dawn. And I feel like that is being acknowledged here. But I see that your intuition is kind of going to be your saving grace here. And it's really interesting too, that I felt like this deck and pile number 2 in general needed to be paired with the Nocturne Herbal Blend, which talks all about the third eye, dreams. Damiana is supposedly supposed to induce dreams, and in large quantities, you know, hallucinations, and you know, but very much like an opening of our third eye, using your intuition type of energy here. And I am seeing that that's what you should be expecting next, is expecting to begin using your intuition to determine, 1, whether or not these people are for you, and 2, at what point are you done and decide to say move on, be done. And then just a reminder here, I think the Magician is a reminder that this is not all is lost. You know, you're just moving away from this situation, these people, this person. You're not going to be alone forever. You're not going to not have any friends. You're not going to, you know, this is not about not being able to find friends or not being able to find the right significant other. This is more or less about just finding someone who is the right match for you, and you having the ability to create that yourself and call that in yourself. Kind of embody the energy that you would like to see, and you'll attract those people. You'll attract the right person by doing that here. Pile number 2. Let's get a few final cards as far as what their advice for you is as you go through this situation here, as what comes next pops up for you. Feeling this one. So The King of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so the advice here is to not allow your mind to get the best of you. Pile number 2. This is going to be about maintaining kind of that higher vibrational energy here. Don't begin to beat yourself up mentally, or let self-defeating thoughts come in and make you feel like there's something wrong with you, like these people, this person doesn't jive with you because of you. That's all about them, and like I said, we're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. We're not for everyone, and not everyone is for us. We're not going to be friends with everyone. Not everyone is going to be friends with us. We're not going to be a good relationship match for everyone, and not everyone is going to be a good relationship match for us. And that doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything wrong with us, and sometimes that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them. Sometimes it's just simply not a good fit. Okay, pile number 2. So that's really something that's popping out here. And the King of Swords really talks about harnessing your mind. And it's interesting to see that here with the Magician as well, kind of not really superimposed, but just kind of over the Magician card here, because manifestation is really, a lot of it starts in the mind. It starts with what do you want, and you have to kind of decide that. You kind of have to have some mental clarity to determine what it is that you want. And that's kind of, I think, what the King of Swords here is talking about, advice for you as you move through this, and begin to get on the other side and decide, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm not going to do this anymore. And you begin to look for someone or to create a situation, where you bring in or attract the right person or people here. I think it's going to be really important to determine, before you start trying to do that, what it is that you actually want. Make up your mind with that a little bit. Pile number 2. That's something that I'm kind of seeing there with that. And with the Page of Pentacles, I'm seeing here, the Page of Pentacles can kind of talk about good news coming through. And I think that that's really what you're going to see. You're going to see things kind of work out a bit better for you. Pile number 2, when you get your mind right and determine what it is that you actually want, what type of qualities are you looking for in friendships, in relationships. I still stand by that this feels very much like a romantic relationship, but like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be. It can definitely be with a friendship group as well. But anyways, so I do see that it's going to be important to determine what it is that you want, what type of qualities you'd like to see. And I think when you do that, you are going to find people who are loyal to you here, is what I'm seeing with the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles can talk about ambition. The page in general generally talks about ambition. But it also talks about loyalty. And we see here this like little dog up here. It's like a little poodle or something. It's super cute. But anyways, so we're going to be seeing loyalty here coming in to your world, to your life, once you decide what type of qualities you want to see in others, what type of qualities you want to attract. And it is important to remember to embody that which you want to attract. So if you really want to attract people who are ambitious, you really want to attract people who are loyal, you yourself need to embody the qualities of ambition and loyalty. If you want to attract people who are compassionate and empathetic, it's going to be important to demonstrate those qualities, particularly when you're dealing with someone else. I think sometimes, particularly in friend groups here, you can kind of, sometimes friend groups are kind of created upon, on the foundation of being kind of an us against them type of situation here, where it's like, you're really, what unites you, what really makes you friends is possibly gossip against, someone else. It's not really a true, genuine friendship. It's something that's based on qualities that maybe in general we wouldn't like to see in other people, we wouldn't like to embody ourselves maybe, but we can kind of get sucked into that kind of meanness or nastiness here, in an effort to be liked. Same thing kind of goes for romantic relationships as well. We really like someone, maybe they have some really not great qualities. Maybe I don't know, they're mean to the waitress at the restaurant, or they don't tip well. If you're in the US, and tipping culture is kind of a whole thing here. Maybe they're just not very nice, but you like them so much, you want a relationship with them so much, or you want to fit into a group so much that you kind of put your own personal convictions and beliefs aside. You kind of stuff those down in an effort to be liked or in an effort to fit in. And I really see that the advice here is to not do that. Allow yourself to not be liked. Allow yourself to maintain your integrity. If they don't like you, that's okay. There's way more important things out there than being liked. It kind of feels like an internal need, and like there's such a strong drive sometimes, because as humans, we do have this pack mentality and have historically needed to stay within a group in order to be safe. And because being an outcast can, in some societies, particularly way back when, can kind of be, well, I mean, it could kind of be a death sentence to a certain extent, right? You know, you don't have protection from others, someone to keep the night watch while you sleep, and vice versa, et cetera, et cetera. So, but that's not the state of things today. And I feel like that's not the situation for you at all. Pile number 2. I feel like it's going to be really important to maintain your integrity and to really determine what it is that you need, what it is that you want to see in others, and to begin embodying that. And I do see that you will come across the right people. Like I said, people who are loyal, people who are compassionate, people who are possibly ambitious, if that's something that's really an attractive quality to you in both your friends and your personal relationships, romantic relationships. Pile number 2. But I think that you're really being called here to use your intuition while you move forward in this situation here. That I think that's going to be really important for you. And you should expect that you're going to be required to lean on your intuition in order to possibly end this situation, and to move forward and decide what it is that you would like to see in future relationships that you have. But I do see that not all is lost by any means. You have everything that you need in order to move forward and find the people that are the right match for you. It's just going to be a matter of getting out of this current situation here with these people who are just kind of disappointing, and I feel like they just don't really reciprocate everything that you're, all the energy that you're putting into this relationship. Pile number 2. But let's get a final oracle card message for you to just kind of tie up the reading here for you. Let's see what this says. Happy Hedgehog. Curiosity, energy, and productivity. Sprightly critter of the forest, help me discover new opportunities. Yeah, that's discover new opportunities, I feel like, is going in this situation. We're really talking about discovering new opportunities to make friends, to make or to meet the right person who really is a match for you, who is a better match, who wants to reciprocate all the energy that you're putting in, who is more aligned with you. Pile number 2. And I think the happy part of this is you may not be feeling very happy at this point, and it may not be, you may not be happy to hear that you're most likely going to be experiencing more disappointment with these people, or with this person here, this situation. But I'm telling you that happiness is on the other side of this situation. Happiness is on the other side of this. It's darkest before the dawn. And, we go from the 10, which is kind of a completion type of energy, back to the 1. So there's going to be new beginnings here. You're going to get a fresh start here with new people, particularly, like I said, once you you determine what it is that you want and you begin to embody that, you will find happiness and there will be new opportunities. You just may have to, just look in the places you wouldn't normally think to look, or maybe stop looking in the places that you have been looking and kind of take a break from that. These new opportunities, these new people will come to you. It's just going to be a matter of time here. Energy on this card is really popping out to me, which to me, I mean, I know that here it's talking about having, more energy, being, whatever, but really for me, I'm feeling like energy means to make sure that your energy matches, the energy that you put out matches the energy that you want to receive. Okay, so like I said, not striving to put up with someone who kind of sucks because you really like them and you'd really like to be in a relationship with them, or these people are or maybe it's friendships and these people are kind of have there's some sort of perks that come with being friends with them, maybe socially, economically, situations like that. And so you're striving, like I said, striving to be liked, but they're really not an energetic match. And as a result, you really kind of end up disappointed in what the relationship offers or has to offer to you or doesn't offer you, so be an energetic match for what it is that you're looking for. Keep your eye out for new opportunities, but and keep your mind on, keep in mind what it is that you're wanting to achieve here, what type of person you're wanting to bring into your life, and listen to your intuition throughout this situation. Expect to feel, like I said, expect to feel like you need to lean on your intuition quite a bit coming forward. You might feel it might feel kind of dark. You might feel like you don't really know what the perfect next step is, or you can't see the perfect next step, but you will be guided by your intuition here and by your ideals and values that matter most to you. So keep an eye out for those new opportunities and match that energy. Like be the energy that you want to see reflected back to you, pile number 2. This is what I see for you here. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to thank your guides for coming through and giving you this message. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel so much. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye, pile number 2. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the totally unofficial Adventure Time Tarot deck along with the Lunar Bloom Air Herbal Blend. So we are going to take a look here and see what to expect next with your current situation. Let's move your herbs over there. Put this right off camera here. And just a reminder, as far as what is in your herbal blend, we have peppermint, mugwort, lavender, and raspberry leaves. I'm super excited to burn this one. It's going to smell so good, especially with that peppermint here. Little disclaimer, I guess, we've been working towards trying to get these to burn and they just kind of don't want to very well, to be honest. We do get a little bit of smoke and kind of an incense vibe from the blend, but it's not super dry. So just, I guess disclaimer there, it's not gonna burn all the way on camera, but I am going to take some time to finish burning each of the piles or each of the herbal piles for you guys off camera here, probably while I edit each pile, actually while I edit the video later today. So anyways, let's talk a little bit about how we're going to do the reading here. We are going to use this deck and we will be initially looking at what the situation is that your guides want to highlight here. And then we'll take a look to see what to expect next with that situation. And then thirdly, we will see if they have any advice for you while you experience whatever it is that is happening next for you. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started here. So what is the situation for pile number 3? We have Justice. We have the 8 of Wands. And we have the King of Cups. Okay. So pile number 3. I see here that the situation at hand, the situation they want to highlight and tell you, kind of give you a heads up about what to expect next in this situation here. I see that this is a situation that is moving quickly. It is kind of a fast-paced situation, and kind of has to do with, well, I guess it kind of has to do with the Justice card here, which is kind of talking about, this can talk about justice in the mundane sense of the word, about what's right, what's fair here. It could also be talking about someone taking responsibility for their actions, which once again kind of is what the word justice kind of encompasses here. But I see that it's going to be moving fairly quickly, whatever this is. I think the most mundane version of this, of what this situation could be a court case. It's going to move quickly. It's going to happen, like, whether it's in someone's favor or not isn't really totally shown here. I mean, it is a bit with the King of Cups kind of coming out victorious here, but just kind of justice being served. Now, this justice, like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily be in the justice system. That's very, very specific. And if that resonates with anyone, it's probably going to be only 1 or 2 people here. I don't really feel like that's what this is about, though. So for the majority of people, at least, but I do see that, a situation that may have felt unfair or not been fair to you is going to become fair very quickly. And it's going to be in your favor overall with the King of Cups here. I really feel like there is a sense of, kind of almost of, I don't know, I mean, satisfaction, I guess, does kind of talk about it, but almost just like this, almost this like, yeah, I told you so type of feeling here. Like, yeah, I told you that that was going to happen. I told you that that was the case. I told you that that wasn't fair. I told you that you needed to take responsibility for that. That's kind of what I see with the King of Cups here with this, but not in a way where it feels pretentious or insensitive, I guess, because the King of Cups kind of talks about the balance between the heart and the mind, maintaining a good balance there. Generally, King of Cups depictions, usually he has 1 foot firmly planted on the ground and he has his toe dipped into water, kind of symbolizing that he has a nice integration between reality, stability, like there's stability, there's like emotional stability there. And he has a nice firm grasp on reality, but is also in tune with his emotions as well. And I feel like that's the situation here that they're talking about, is the situation where there's some sort of justice is kind of coming in. It's coming in quickly. And there's this sense of having a nice balance, maybe I don't know if it's an expectation of having a balance kind of between head and heart, but I do kind of see that here is the situation going on. Totally forgot to light your herbs. Let me do that real fast and get that going for you. And while we pull some cards, I do think I want to pull one more clarifier for this King of Cups. I feel like the Justice card and the 8 of Wands is pretty straightforward, you know, someone being forced to take responsibility. Perhaps this is you choosing to take some responsibility for your actions, but it's coming pretty swiftly. And it's possible that this could be about somebody else, you know, someone kind of getting what they deserve kind of swiftly, kind of quickly. Let's use this deck right here to kind of clarify for you about this King of Cups and give us a little more information here about what this might be. I do kind of feel like this one too. So let's see here. Okay, the World. I want to make sure we can see all the cards here. Every pile's kind of ended up with a different number of cards. So with each one, I'm kind of trying to determine how I want to do this here. And the Four of Cups. Okay. All right. So yeah, King of Cups here. I am seeing kind of a completion here, a completion of a cycle with the King of Cups. That's kind of what this is probably talking about here for you. Justice is being served, whether this is somebody taking responsibility for their actions or for something they've chosen to do, or maybe someone kind of getting theirs to a certain extent, maybe a little bit of a karmic retribution. I mean, it's not 100% what this could be, but that could be that a little bit here. But I really want to say this is someone taking responsibility for their actions here, and possibly you being expected to take responsibility for your actions. And this is kind of a completion here, whatever the situation is. It's kind of a completion of a cycle here for you. And it might not, I feel like the King of Cups is, let's see, with the Four of Cups here, I feel like you've been taking the high road. I think this is someone else taking responsibility for something they've done. You've seen justice kind of come swiftly for this person, but instead of reveling in their misfortune, maybe, or in them experiencing the consequences of their actions, it's, I don't know, you're trying to be mature about this. Four of Cups too can talk about kind of being bored or not totally satisfied with whatever a situation is here, and maybe that's more or less what resonates for you, is that they are kind of getting justice, or maybe they are kind of taking a responsibility here, but it's not really to the extent that you were hoping. It's interesting here, we have on these elixirs, I don't know if you can see, we have arsenic, morphine, cyanide, heroin. I see here, these are all things that are detrimental to our health, some more than others. Some are kind of meant to dull the senses. Others are kind of meant to, numb us out. And others are just incredibly detrimental to our health here. And I see that that's kind of what the Four of Cups is kind of talking about here, is that this lack of full satisfaction with this situation. It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of leaving you feeling a bit dissatisfied, and it can be a little bit toxic to be in this state. But I do see that this is kind of a completion here. This is a situation that's kind of coming full circle. Maybe the ending of this chapter and beginning of the next, but let's see what you need to be expecting, or what your guides would like you to be expecting with this situation here. Let's see. And I want to pull one more. Okay. So we have the Ace of Cups. Move our little guys up here. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Ten of Coins. We have the Page of Coins. Okay. What to expect next with this situation is very favorable outcomes for you. Pile number 3. Something that just kind of popped out at me was the herbs here where it says air on yours. And I'm going to go ahead and relight this one more time. But the air is really talking, the air energy really talks about the higher mind. It really talks about, sometimes it can talk about higher learning, but it really mostly talks about the mind, your mental state here. And I feel like you've been doing a pretty good job managing your mental state with this situation. And I don't know, I do kind of want to say to a certain extent that this could be you taking responsibility for your actions and deciding to just do that and to get that over with. And it's really showing a sort of maturity here for you, pile number 3. But what to expect next here are great things, honestly. Ace of Cups here, I'm seeing kind of new beginnings, the idea, new desires coming up for you, new ideas. And this is possible. It's possible that this has kind of already started. This is kind of a completion here. You're completing this cycle and you're kind of moving on to something new. And I do feel like this is in a relationship too. Doesn't have to necessarily be a romantic relationship, but possibly some sort of personal relationship, some sort of like interactions with others here for you. This could just be taking responsibility for mistakes you've made and moving forward here. But I do see that, you know, this is going to open up a new chapter for you here, pile number 3, a new chapter where you've got some new ideas coming in about what it is that you truly want. Cups talks a lot about, it can talk about relationships and, you know, interpersonal relationships. It can talk about deepest desires. You know, sometimes those things kind of they kind of mix a little bit. They're kind of one and the same. Sometimes our deepest desire is to have interpersonal relationships with people who truly understand us, who truly get us, who are kind of the right match for us here. And I do see that maintaining this maturity here, this emotional maturity. That's kind of what King of Cups makes me think of, is emotional maturity. It's really going to benefit you in this situation. And what to expect next are really some really new ideas coming in for you, new desires coming in here, new relationships possibly. Queen of Wands talks about confidence, and I think that you're going to find confidence in your ability to, I don't know, to continue moving forward once this chapter is closed, possibly, or the confidence to go after whatever these new desires are here. Ten of Coins, Page of Coins here, we're seeing great things coming as far as the material world. I see needs being met, material needs being met, and possibly new ideas, new journeys kind of starting here with the Page of Coins. I see some renewed ambition. I see some renewed loyalty, even if this is just loyalty to yourself here, pile number 3. Also, with all these coins cards here, this could also be taking responsibility for a mistake that you've made at work. You know, taking responsibility for something that you've done overall. And I'm seeing here that what to expect next with this situation are really favorable outcomes. I think you've made the correct choice here, or whoever, the correct choice has been made, and taking some responsibility here with this situation and moving forward from that. And I think that there's going to be some really great things, really great outcomes coming to you here as a result. We're going to see some, not even necessarily just financial stability, but more than you need, like abundance is kind of what I'm seeing here, and possibly a renewed confidence too. Like I feel like this situation is really renewing your confidence. It's renewing your ambition, so that you can go forward and achieve this kind of 10 of coins energy here. That's something that I'm really seeing here for you. Pile number 3. The bees all around here are they're kind of popping out to me, and kind of makes me think about hard work to a certain extent, or confidence in your work, confidence in your whatever your passion may be, whatever it is that you're working towards here. That's kind of what Ace of Cups kind of talks about, passion here. So maybe you're kind of through this situation, you're discovering a new passion, however that's going to go for you, however that kind of comes about. You're going to discover a new passion here, and you can expect for this passion to really, you're going to feel really confident about this, and feel confident about the work that needs to be put in order to achieve this end goal of abundance here. And you should expect that to actually come into fruition. Maintain your ambition, maintain your loyalty to this endeavor, and I feel like you are going to succeed, more than succeed, really. Pile number 3. Let's get a few cards here to talk about some advice for you as you move through this situation, and what you're expecting next. Advice during this time as this all comes to pass for you. Let's see here. We have the 2 of coins. So balancing money, balancing finances is something that I'm seeing here that's going to be really important. Going to be the advice for you before we even flip over this other card. That's something that I think is going to be really important. Finding a balance within your finances, maybe finding a balance between work and home could even be kind of the situation here. But finding that work-life balance. And then Judgment. Interesting. We've got Justice over here. We have Judgment over here. Okay. So Judgment plus the 2 of coins here is really going to be talking about making good financial decisions. Okay. Making good judgment calls with your finances as you move forward here. Because I'm seeing that this stuff is happening quickly here for you. Page of Coins, coins are a bit slower-ish, but we've got the 8 of Wands here. So this situation has happened quite quickly. This chapter has come to an end, maybe a bit abruptly for you, but you're really maintaining your emotional integrity through all of this, your emotional maturity here, and starting kind of anew with some new desire that's coming up, some new wish that you have, that you want to fulfill here. I see that you have the confidence to do it. I see that you have the ambition to do it, and you have a sense of loyalty to this endeavor. But the advice for you while you're moving through this and going to achieve this is going to be to maintain some balance here and make some good decisions in the material world. Traditionally, this is the 2 of Coins is talking about balancing your finances, balancing your money, deciding where to invest, when to hold off, what to save, like what to put in your savings, what you've determined is all right to spend. That's generally what this could be talking about, but it doesn't have to necessarily be exactly that. It could also be making good judgment calls between work-life balance. Kind of feels almost with this coming out that might even be what this is about to a certain extent. Taking responsibility for the fact that maybe you've not been maintaining the correct work-life balance. Maybe you, or you know, I mean, we do have the Four of Cups here in the world. So I think that this is just like, whatever this situation was, it's been a long time coming. It hasn't really been the most satisfying situation, but I do see that you're making the best of it. But advice going forward, or during all this, while you're kind of going on this journey here, is going to be to maintain a balance with finances, with work life. Make good judgment calls with this. Use your best judgment with this in order to make the right decisions for not just yourself, but for your family. Work-life balance is really, I mean, I just can't get that out of my head. And that might just be for a specific few people. You know, take what resonates, leave the rest. This is a general reading, but still, I do see that there's going to be a nice balance that needs to be struck here, and you need to use your best judgment with this, so that this journey, so you can be successful in this journey and you don't have anything holding you back, or complicating things for you while you go through this. Pile number 3. I think this is going to be a bit of a mental, I feel like a lot of it's going to be mental for you. I think it's the physical world in which these moves are being made, in which these things are occurring. This is not just, you know, you finding balance in your mind, or you know, I think it's a bit more 3D than that, but I feel like your mind is going to be a great asset to you during this time, your mindset, particularly with this air energy that we have here, that's kind of shown up in the reading for you. So let's get a final oracle card message for you about this situation. All right. We have Wondrous Whale, introspection, depth, and transcendence. And it says, ancient song and soul of the sea, awaken the cosmic awareness within. Okay. Let's talk about it. Let me find a nice little home for it. Like I said, everyone's cards have been just totally different, coming out in totally different quantities. So it's like with each pile, I've got to organize it so you can see everything and everything makes sense. So with this card, I feel like it is going, like I said, mind is coming out here for me, for you. In order to make good judgment calls, it is going to require some introspection. It is going to require some deeper thinking. But I do see that you are going to be kind of transcending this situation. This situation is not going to get the best of you. It's going to go really well for you. It's just going to be about maintaining some awareness here, possibly some awareness of whatever happened in this situation. This isn't something that I feel like you need to like be beating yourself up over by any means, or that anybody needs to be doing that. But I think the situation does need to be kind of remain in the back of your mind to a certain extent, whatever this was here as you move forward. You know, maintain a little bit of awareness with that, and do some introspection here, so that you can make the right judgment call in this decision. Pile number 3. But that is what I am seeing for you, for what to expect next with this situation here. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into the reading, and thank your guides for coming through with these messages for you. Please like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel so much, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.